Good morning, video games. Welcome to Filthy Casuals, a podcast about video games hosted by three very kind and extremely knowledgeable boys. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Tommy Dassler, and with me as always...
Ben Vanel here. I'm in a new spot on the couch.
Yeah.
I feel completely at a loss. I don't know what to do. I guess I'm going to throw to Adam.
You did it the same as always. Location means nothing to this man, but it means everything to me, Adam Knox, and also to our guest for this week, Greg Larsen.
Yes.
Hello, my name's Greg. I have acid reflux sometimes, but I'm dealing with it and making lifestyle changes.
What is acid reflux? I always hear people talk about it, and I assume that I get it because sometimes I'm in pain in my chest for no reason.
Yeah,
is
it could be heart attack, but it also could be acid reflux. Acid reflux is when acid rises up in your stomach. You have too much acid in your stomach. Often larger gentlemen will get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or smaller gentlemen who have a bad diet. I've woken up after probably eating heaps of meat, usually, and maybe
After one of your famous gorges.
famous meat gorges.
Yeah.
Haven't had time to get to the vomitorium that night.
Yeah.
Like the Grand Canyon.
Like
a famous gorge.
I'm imagining you like a snake, just holding on the floor, just eating meat in a line and then sleeping where you lay.
The shape
and
of
it's
the
like-
meat bulging his back.
Yeah.
That's it. Not being propped up, and then the acid coming for me.
Yeah.
Up the throat. And waking me up and me choking on it and nearly dying.
I've
definitely
I hate that. I
had a
hate
great
that.
time with it.
In the last couple of years, there's been a huge uptake in the amount of Gaviscon I'm consuming, getting a pretty regular
Oh
heartburn.
wow, this feels like I feel so
Seen?
but also just I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm with my people.
Welcome to the world of video game podcasting.
I don't feel so alone anymore.
Yeah, good. I mean, we're already talking about kind of a niche hobby that the four of us have, and then it's through that you open the door to talk about other sort of niche
Gaviscon,
pursuits
my
and
Lanta.
issues.
If you buy a PS5 on Amazon, the little customers also bought.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's sole inserts for shoes.
Yeah.
It's Gaviscon and a PS5 controller.
yeah.
Esports people should get sponsored by My Lanta and Gaviscon and stuff.
Yeah, this episode's brought to you by Men's Shed.
Yeah.
I've got pretty fast reflexes, but I don't have good reflux. You can...
That's actually something I want to do, and I've been wanting to do for ages. I want to just do comedy shows in a jumpsuit with sponsors on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to make that happen. I will do it. I'll fucking do it. I used to...
Do you need to? Do you want the actual sponsorship, or you don't care? You're happy to just have the logo?
Oh no, I want the money.
You want the money?
The
okay.
money, yeah. I don't want to do it in the sense that I would look foolish and it's morally reprehensible.
Totally, absolute sellout.
But in terms of money, I will sell out for the right amount of money.
Remember that guy who got all these tattoos on him? He got fully tattooed by sponsors.
Yeah.
And then they stopped paying him at some point and was like, I regret this.
I mean, it makes sense that you're not getting a huge return on investment from one guy's face.
Right,
Yeah.
And it would be hard, I don't, I'm just throwing this out there, but if I saw something tattooed on a guy's face, like Pepsi, I'd probably go, don't want a Pepsi.
Not for me.
That's why I never buy anchors.
Yeah.
Tattoos do not work on me.
Yeah. Teardrops, not for me.
Teardrops, nah. What would you? What's the ideal an hour-long Greg Larsen comedy show? What's the ideal company to get on board? Trying to think who I could see looking at Greg Larsen and thinking this is the spokesman for us.
I would only because I have some ethics. I would only use companies that I purchase their products.
Okay.
All right.
Where I would, even if I find them morally reprehensible, but I have to purchase their products willingly, regularly.
Yeah.
That makes it if you want it to be ethical ads, though, it's almost lamer to see a guy in an F1 jumpsuit with sustainable toilet paper ads.
Yeah.
You want Coca-Cola and Marlboro.
Yeah.
You want the old kill you stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to get cigarette sponsorship.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That would be
They're
cool.
looking for it.
I wanted to have in my show all just cigarette ads before people came in. And apparently that's illegal.
Yeah.
And it really pissed me off. I got really mad about it. And I was like, I'm an artist.
Trying to
Can you
get
censor
special
me?
consideration to be allowed to smoke inside in your venue.
Yes.
I did actually. In one year I tried to when I did that play where I was doing and I did have if I'd done it at the Malt House, I would have been able to smoke inside.
Oh,
that's cool.
And I was going to be just smoking for most of the show.
Fuck.
And then a little thing called COVID happened.
I'm imagining you drunk in a normal bar being like, I'm doing a show. This is a performance. You can't get me out.
Yeah.
Halfway through setting off the smoke alarms every night. But they told me I can do it. I got special permission.
Yeah.
You had a KFC ad in your show this year, technically.
Did I?
Yeah, you recreated the KFC ad.
Yeah, that's right. I did a thing where I said, sorry, did I hear a heckle up the back there? Did someone heckle me?
Yeah.
Sorry, did somebody say KFC? And then I played the I don't care. And it was so funny. And
Man.
At one of the shows, the audience was so thrilled. They spontaneously formed a human centipede.
Wow.
And everybody ate each other's eyes.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you dream of when you get
Yeah.
into
It was so
stand-up.
wild. And it was also really like, I don't see how this corresponds, but...
Nah.
You know,
The whole
That's
audience,
the shit that Lenny Bruce used to get.
yeah.
the whole audience eating each other's asses, and then you're up on stage saying, "I took the day off when I wrote that one."
Yeah. And everyone was just like, ugh. Yeah.
I've got a friend who that's his go-to bit. He loves sneaking in a bit of, did someone say KFC?
Yeah.
And I was like trying to get him to go to your show. I was like, there's one bit, the whole show's great, but there's one bit that you'll love. And he's like, I'm really busy. I don't think I'm going to get time to go. Can you just tell me the bit? And I was like, okay. And he's like, yeah, that's really funny. I wish I'd just gone and seen it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fucking hell.
And-
Can't win.
And that friend's name was Adolf Hitler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
How'd you know? My friend the painter. But Greg, of course, we've got you in here for our... when was the last time you were on? Just after Elden Ring came out.
I don't even remember.
It might have been when we did like a live show in Sydney.
I
It
remember
might
a
have been
live show in
that long
Sydney, and that
ago.
was a long time ago.
That was like
Yeah.
2017 or something.
Yeah.
You've been around at Ben's apartment in the last year, I reckon.
Yeah.
We've talked Elden Ring with you.
I don't think you have.
What
I don't
the
think I've been
fuck?
on
We
in
talked
fucking
Elden
ages.
Ring with Luke McGregor.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Are you
I don't think I've
confusing
been
them?
on here.
Yeah, I don't know.
think I've been on here since then.
Control F your podcast feeds or Command F.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to figure it out yourself at home. A fun
Honestly,
little
if I
game.
have been on talking about Elden Ring, that actually makes me like I want to get brain scans. I'm starting to get paranoid that I'm losing my mind.
Me too, so I don't know. Maybe it's an acid reflux thing. It goes
Yeah,
up in your
it's acid
brain.
reflux. It gets
Well,
in your
I'm
brain.
convinced
The
that it happens. So
Yeah.
one of us is definitely insane.
You're the healthiest probably these
Yeah.
days. But we think we wanted to get you on. There's been some big Greg games out lately. I've been
Greg
playing
games.
So I've been playing a big Greg game that you haven't played yet, I know. Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Oh,
By the time this comes out, you'll have been playing it for like 8 days, I think.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to ask you is predict for me, please.
Yeah.
What your mental state and
Yep.
physical state and the state of the room around you will be as of now of release 8 days after Baldur's Gate 3 comes out.
Okay. I've thought about this a lot.
Yeah.
it does sound like you've collaborated on this
Yeah.
beforehand. Knox, why do you know 8 days?
I looked up the date.
That's a bit psychotic.
This
I
wasn't
also
a
just have the release dates of video games catalogued in my head.
Yeah.
Well,
It's-
okay, so no, I don't want to give a spoiler. Can I just say spoilers?
You can't spoil a game you haven't played yet.
No, that's true. But I've heard one
Oh,
thing
okay.
about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But it's like I don't know if it's that big a spoiler. It's not a plot spoiler.
By the time this is dropping,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
been
yeah.
out
It's
for a
been
month
out on
and a
PC
half
for
on
ages
PC.
and a
Knox
week
and
and a
I
bit
are-
on.
played
if you don't want to hear a
PlayStation.
little tiny little Baldur's Gate spoiler, skip ahead 10 seconds or maybe 20 seconds. Or actually, as I'm
delete the
talking,
episode to be
as I'm
safe.
talking,
30 by
you,
now.
you'll probably skip 10 seconds, but it still
true.
hasn't happened yet. Just fucking, I don't know, figure something out.
Yeah.
If you hear rewind,
Yeah.
and then skip ahead a minute.
So I heard in Baldur's Gate 3, at some point you can fuck a bear.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
a news story. That's like
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that went
Yeah,
around.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
I've been getting spoiled on it from news stories coming up, being like,
Right.
"Here's how to fight this boss." And anyway,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, you
Well,
can
now
fuck
I
a
know
bear.
that you fight bosses in it.
we talked about the bear thing, and then it got censored on TikTok for sexual references.
Oh yeah,
Our clip
Right.
got taken down.
TikTok's
our
lame
clip,
as
right.
shit. Like you
Wait,
you have to write
Us
S
talking about it.
apostrophe X, like which is an insane thing because you know what's not a swear word? fuck. I mean, sex. You fuck a bear. You can do if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I don't know how long into the game that you will fuck the bear.
Yeah.
But it'll just basically be.
So you don't know if it's 8 days or not.
Yeah.
In reference
8 days
to this question.
for a minimum, there's been about 3 days of just restoring the save, fucking the bear.
Trying to fight,
just
doing everything.
Cheezels everywhere. I hate cheezels too. I don't even like them. That's why they'll be everywhere. Yeah, because I just keep buying cheezels. And they go, "Oh, I'm getting this shit.
This is disgusting."
I want to fuck the bear. And just lying in a pool of my own filth, fucking the bear and writhing around, going, "I'm Greg, I'm Greg."
That's
Baldur's Gate 3.
Pretty close to how I've been spending the last couple of weeks with it.
You
Honestly,
can fuck the bear
saying
really
I'm
fast.
And it's really crazy how quickly everyone wants to fuck you in that game, to the point where it's the first time that I've had full understanding of what it's like to have a friend come on to you in a way that you don't want. Because
Your full understanding.
I've known that people don't like that, but I've never.
What do you mean by that, Adam?
Oh, mate.
You look really tense.
I've not personally been in the position. So, and because my friends are really supportive about stuff like that. They give me massages and stuff all the time to calm me down from the worry of it. But I want to just be friends with all these people in my party, and they keep coming up to me being like, "Can we spend the night together?" And I keep having to turn them down. And the options you get are either like, "Absolutely, I'd love to," or like, "Not for me, no way, yuck." And I feel bad about it, so I'm getting pressured. But
there's no option for like, hey, we're kind of focused on trying to get these little worms out of our brains. Can we just maybe after that?
I'm like covered in blood. I'm holding an axe. Like it's not the time right now.
I haven't healed yet. I'm a bit distracted.
So now
honestly.
I've figured out why this game is like got such good reviews. Like, is that all it is? Like, it's like, the game's fine.
A lot of it. You can fuck anyone at any time. Almost. It's so quick and constant.
It feels like literally pandering to an audience that is desperate for someone to say, "Hey, do you want to fuck?"
And it's like, it's nice that, there's options in the game. I really like that about the game as a whole, but I don't want the whole to be that type of hole. I'm
pussy and an asshole.
Mouth.
Well,
as long as they don't have acid reflux.
Yeah,
that can kind of help. It's a little tingling sensation.
But good.
Yeah,
it does seem like
a
funny
ribbed condom.
It does seem like a funny response to like in Fire Emblem, where it's like you spend the whole game going on battles with these people and fighting alongside them, and that might build up your bond level, and then you can like give them gifts, and then it's like you just randomly sort of right near the end, it's like, "Hey, do you want to marry this person?" Okay.
Yeah.
Like someone's gone, "We need to fill in the blanks here. We need to give people more options from the get-go."
But not only that, I kind of like... I like that because you want to root different characters in games. If you get the option to root a character, you want to root the character.
Yeah. Sure.
And the thing is, if you're spending the whole game doing it, it's like, just get it out of the way and then let's play this beautiful game.
True. Maybe it's good for the adventure. Like, get the tension out of the way so we can focus on our spells.
Sex to save the friendship.
Fuck who you want, and then like get some spells going.
This game does feel like it is sort of what we were talking about off air, Greg. You were saying like the pre-internet video game, like schoolyard rumors of like, apparently in this game you can do this, and then it's like Baldur's Gate 3 does seem like it is born out of like the frustration of being a kid, of being like, you can't make Sonic and Tails have sex at all. My friend lied to me.
That's the one that everyone thought about time. Not the Tomb Raider nude code.
When I was a kid, it may well have crossed my mind like, why can't I go into the inventory and take off all of their clothes?
Yeah.
Well, now I can.
Yeah, exactly.
My generation's in power now. And
can you actually nude up the Baldur's Gate characters?
All of them.
Really?
I haven't tried.
They've all got everything you'd expect under there.
Wow.
It's all going on.
Who was I talking to? I feel like I'm going crazy. I feel like I was just having a conversation.
This is when you were on our podcast last week that you were talking about this.
Oh no, it was just a friend. It wasn't a podcast. It was just a friend. I get chats and podcasts confused. Yeah. I was talking to a mate about Cyberpunk that really annoyed me because like Cyberpunk was so shit. But I'm gonna say it.
Dude,
disappointing.
I I might be the only person that doesn't agree with that.
Yeah, we got a big cyberpunk apologist.
Oh,
Yeah,
that sucks to hear.
Do you mean like? Did you have like issues with bugs initially, or just
I got
everything
it when,
underneath?
I got it when like they finally got out the PS5 version. It was all whatever,
pretty smooth.
And like right off the bat, it's like, oh yeah, cool. I've got this dick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but then you can't run around the world with the dick out.
Okay.
So what's the point?
Yeah.
Like literally, what's the point?
Yeah. Why would you have a dick if you can't share it?
Yeah. Like what's the point of having visible genitals in a game that's only in the menu screen?
Yeah.
No point to it.
Yeah.
Well, this game is one of the most pointed experiences that you're gonna have.
Yes.
Where like when you like you can fuck someone in the game, and then the next day the other people in the camp will be like, we heard you.
Oh man.
And like you wake up in the morning and your dick is there.
These are spoilers.
It's like we came in here being like, what are we going to talk about? And then it's just basically an hour of us explaining to Greg all the reasons that he's going to love Baldur's Gate 3.
Boys. I'm so keen for Baldur's Gate 3.
It's really fucking good.
I'm really excited.
Nothing sucked me in this much for some time.
Or sucked you off this much.
I want to leave it for as long of a silence as possible before it auto plays the next podcast for people.
I just wanted to add that's the clip.
Yeah.
That's the clip of the episode.
Yeah.
It's like it's really good, and like it's so like Tears of the Kingdom earlier this year seemed like this lock, kind of like a boring for me anyway. Of like, when we're doing our Game of the Year stuff at the end of the year, we're gonna just have this bit where we all know we're gonna like Elden Ring last year, and then this is like a big contender, and there'll be 2 games I'll play for like more than 100 hours this year.
Yeah,
it's sick. 85 hours of dick inspection, 15 hours of let's go kill this guy, I guess.
Why didn't you guys laugh more when I said suck? Like, I feel like that was a funny line.
I think it occurred to us all at the same time it would be funny to not laugh.
Yeah,
that is truly like, that was an ultimate like Baldur's Gate moment of like your dialogue choices, and it's like comedy, suck you off, and it's like you need to roll a 15. 2.
We all had to do nothing.
The narrator. The 3 hosts sit in silence.
Reputation with filthy casuals just dropped.
Oh man, Baldur's Gate, I want it so bad.
So you're waiting for the PS5 version, right?
Yeah, I don't like. Obviously, you guys fuck around with PC games.
Yes.
I can't fuck around with PC games. I don't know what's like. Every time I play a game on PC, and I tried to do a little bit of PC gaming during the lockdown and stuff.
Right.
And every night it was like, hang on a second, wait, no, like with online gaming or whatever. Like someone's mic isn't working for some reason.
Yeah.
Someone's got to reinstall their graphics driver. For some reason, it's one person's dropping out constantly. Yeah. Like, I don't understand how anyone can live that lifestyle.
I'm the same a little bit where like even if it's working perfectly, I have in the back of my head as well like, are my settings right? Is this running as well as it could? Can I go in there and change all of the settings?
I like getting a console thing and it's like, this is the version. Yeah. This is it. There's not like knowing, if I spend a little bit more on a new graphics card, it could be looking a little bit. It's like that's always in the back of my head annoying
also,
me a little bit.
Like I've heard PC gamers tell me that like it's like cheaper, and I don't know where they're buying PCs from.
I know.
Like, it's so much more expensive. It's
I always find that
ridiculously much more expensive.
If you build your own PC, it's actually really cheap. And like I've looked multiple times, and every time it's been like, oh, well, I can't do this.
Yeah.
That's Tommy and I. We both use the same guy, right?
Yeah.
We got like a dealer to make us a PC.
Yeah.
And it was cheap. It was like less than $1,000, and it's like a gaming PC. And then once you get one, all of the games are cheaper.
That's the main thing.
Like
there's way more
CD
sales. I think that's what people
like
mean when they say that. Is like, there's way more regular sales on those storefronts.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, I've been doing that. Like, I don't want to sprig PlayStation too much. I don't want to, unless they wanted to sponsor me.
Oh,
But he was looking for a comedian wearing a racing suit to put a PlayStation logo on himself.
Fat
Greg,
comedian
Greg
This
doing
will
his show.
shift some product.
wearing a racing suit. Where he's,
Welcome to Greg Turismo.
Yeah.
You know what? I wasn't going to buy a PlayStation, but this guy's chest makes a really good point.
Yeah, this man up here doing comedy dressed as Astrobot has really won me over.
I don't care. Honey, I'm buying a PlayStation. We're cancelling the holiday.
No, I got that like the big boy PlayStation Plus, whatever the fuck.
Oh, with the streaming and everything.
Yeah. Like
I forget what-
so many
Extra?
so many free games.
Yeah.
so many
Right.
free games. It's
Game Pass is sick
crazy.
like that too.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
they're both chill.
Yeah.
Because you were this was what was interesting to me during the week. I asked you what you'd been playing, and you said no Baldur's Gate 3 yet, but what you have been doing is playing Gran Turismo in VR with the wheel.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, so my brother has PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
Two.
Two. Yeah.
And he lives in New Zealand. He came over for a week,
Okay.
brought his VR2 over because I've
wow.
got the wheel.
Wow.
And then he left and forgot to take his VR.
Oh,
with him.
no.
Now, let me ask you this: did you see him packing and you realised this cunt is about to forget the VR? I'll just let this one slide.
Like I may have noticed at a point when it was possible for him. No, but here's the thing: I messaged him and I said, "Did you forget this or did you leave it on purpose?" And he goes, "I initially forgot it, but at a point when I easily could have gotten it back because he had like rented a car or whatever, I couldn't be bothered
Yeah. Okay.
because I haven't played it in months."
Right.
Man.
And that's a nice feeling too. He knows little brother Greggy
Yeah.
gets to have it now.
Yeah.
And I
But-
wish
but-
that I
but-
was in the position where I could be in the leave the PSVR behind, where instead of like, no, this is an asset for me. This is my children's inheritance.
Yeah. This is. I'm taking this to Cashies. Like this is. This is my backup plan.
It's not going to devalue. There's only going to be more games come out one day.
The PlayStation nest egg. That's what you call it.
But I nearly bought the PSVR 2 when it came out, and I couldn't justify it. And I was, it's a lot of money. And
You know what you should have done?
What?
Do what I do. Don't justify it. Do it anyway.
Yeah. Well, I was, if I lived alone.
Yeah.
I think we've told this on the show before, Greg, but Adam, we were talking in the lead up to the VR2 coming out. We were all like, we can't justify it. It's too expensive. There's not enough coming out on it. And then like 3 days after it had come out, Adam sends me and Ben a message going like, oh, apparently there's this cool thing in the Horizon game where you can like paint on rocks. Check this out. And then he sends us a screenshot of a painting on a rock of basically a little stick figure of Adam wearing the VR saying, boys, I've gone in.
It took me ages to make. That's so cool. Then I had to figure out how to take a screenshot in VR.
It was like a gender reveal. It was great.
I popped it and no money fell out of the balloon.
Well, my question to you, so you have VR.
I've got it.
Yeah. My question to you, and you got it when it came out.
Yeah.
Do you still play it?
No.
Yeah. I
will one day.
I've had it for 3 days,
Yeah.
and I played it for a day, and I don't think I'll play it again.
I
can't. Like, Gran Turismo is the okay. So this, I want to pedal back a second because I also own Resident Evil Village, right?
Yeah.
And I was so
Right.
excited because I'd heard the reviews for that were amazing. And it was the jankiest, messy. Like, I couldn't play the game.
Right.
I
Right.
literally just couldn't play the game.
Interesting.
It was just a janky mess. Like, your arms going like this, and I'm like trying to shoot someone, and I'm going like, reload. Reload.
So there's a shower now. Are you okay?
Oh man, I just hit my head hard.
Oh, no.
This is what it's like.
This is why.
This is what it's like playing VR.
This is why Greg couldn't remember the last time he was on the show as well. This happened
Man,
last time.
That
you okay?
hurt.
Greg whacked
I'm
himself
not
on a
okay.
shelf.
That must have hurt more than when Adam bonked you on the head with a frying pan.
Man, I'm glad that you're recording. Video recording.
And we got the
this.
video
Yeah.
too.
Nice.
Treat yourselves. If you're only
You can watch it back and see where you went
Oh
wrong.
man.
Because there was a wiggle before you hit it where you were okay.
yeah,
Oh man.
Oh, there we go.
that
really
is
jagged,
true.
that
Yeah, it's a jagged corner.
Yeah.
Oh, It's metal. No, it isn't.
No, it's wood.
But that's a corner. That was the corner.
Oh man,
People
that is
get killed by
really
trees,
suffering
they're
for
just
your
wood.
art. That really helped the bit.
Well,
But that is exactly the experience. I couldn't make it out of that initial. I played it, and I stuck with it too because I was like, I gotta get to the baby.
right.
Yeah.
Gotta get to the baby.
See that
in
big
VR.
baby in VR.
It's just not possible.
Yeah,
like
right.
I couldn't heal myself. Like it keeps
Right.
going like you have to open your coat.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going-
yeah.
Yeah.
Like this, just
Careful
doing
with
the
that
action
act out.
over.
No more act outs from
There's a
now
wall
on.
there.
I'm gonna wear a helmet next time I'm on this fucking show. And like it's just constant, and it's like constantly going out of alignment. Like it'll be like
That's interesting.
Like it, and also it just looks so shit.
I-
Like it's so blurry around the edges. It's really, and it gives you a headache after
There's
a bit.
all the people in it look real yuck.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, they're all like
moving weird.
they're so mean. And it
One
wasn't,
woman's all stretched out and
Village
big.
is a fucking mess.
but it wasn't even slightly scary because like this guy's killing me, but like it's all weird because I can sort of see my body. Like I'm in a weird, like I'm sitting down, but I can see my legs out here. It doesn't.
right.
At no point, even in like Gran Turismo, and I've got the wheel.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
still doesn't really feel like I'm in a car. It sort of does a bit, but then, it'll be like, oh yeah, I just move my head. It's like,
Yeah,
oh no, you've
outside
made a
of the
mistake.
car.
You've
Yeah,
made a
yeah.
mistake. You can't move your head because then
You're a ghost now. You're floating
Yeah,
through
now
the...
It is
the
that weird thing in
wireframe.
VR where every game turns you into Rayman. Like you look down and you've got no arms,
Yeah.
but your
Right.
hands are
Yes.
just kind of
and,
floating.
and your
there
hands are
holding a
going
gun.
like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've got a belt floating in front of you, like, and like it's like I saw a review for Resident Evil Village, and it was like you feel like you're really reloading your guns. No, you don't. You feel like you're rubbing two plastic spheres together, trying to get it to work, and it doesn't work.
I wonder if you saw this guy writing the review, he'd be wiggling all over his
Yeah.
keyboard
Yeah.
and like trying to get up and walk and get some coffee and trip. But like, so I only did a little bit of Village, but it was working fine for me, and I was like impressed with the PSVR of how well it did that stuff compared to I have had a lot of that with other things in the past.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe it got
I love the
broken
idea
in
of
transport.
I love the idea
Probably
of your
not.
brother listening to this and being like, "Well, fucking post it back." Then.
Yeah. But no, it's like it's so like I feel like every time I play VR, for like I know the first time I ever used a VR system
Yeah.
was in 1997 at a Westfield shopping centre, and it was like the earliest version of VR was a game where you could shoot pterodactyls or something. And
Wow.
it was one of those weird 3D blocks. Everyone was and I feel like it has
Westfield.
yeah, in a Westfield
okay.
they had like setups, and it was like look it up online. There's like I think it's like a pterodactyl game or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
It was like
It
the
is
first-
interesting how long they've been like you hear about like Sega in like 1992 were developing. They wanted to
Yeah.
like be first to market with like like
There was
the
a Genesis one where it would flash back and forth two different images on the TV so that one eye received the like horizontal and one
yeah.
eye got the vertical. So it would just flicker between the two to create a 3D effect. Not the same as VR, but like 3D glasses.
the amount of time
Back
they've
on
been
that.
like working on that stuff, trying to kind of really get it popping.
Yeah.
And it's still, I mean, obviously it's the best it's ever been, but it's like, it's funny how long it's been. And you think
I
like,
know.
God, imagine how dire a 1991 Mega Drive VR headset would have been. Like, what would you have
it's
been
like
looking
the
at?
Virtual Boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
But like it's just still so like I'm just not going to use it. Like you still got to put the headset on. After 20 minutes your head's sweating.
Yes.
It's kind of uncomfortable. And like the best version of it, like nothing to me where you're standing or moving feels like it completely breaks the immersion the second that you have to like sort of use the control stick to just flick views.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause
Yeah.
you're not physically walking. It doesn't feel like I'm holding a gun. It feels like I'm holding a plastic thing. Like
Yeah, you
none
don't
of
feel
it-
like you're
Yeah.
walking around the village. You feel like you're on a little chair being wheeled around or
Right.
something. Like,
yeah, and it doesn't like it's like even when there's not many issues, there's still always a couple of issues.
Right.
So like, it's cool every time I've ever played VR, it's the same basic experience. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. 10 minutes later,
Yeah. My
Yeah.
eyes hurt.
I know.
You
My
just,
eyes
you just
And
acclimatize
it's
and you're like,
easier
oh,
to
yeah.
just play the game by sitting down. Even
Yeah.
Gran Turismo, like I'm playing it, and it is. There are things about VR that are really good because, like with the wheel and stuff, it's the most immersed you can be, and you actually do. It is actually like I feel like I can see the track better and I can turn easier and all the rest of it, but still, I'll turn my head slightly the wrong angle, and then suddenly it's a wireframe.
And again, the closer it gets,
for some reason it's like the view suddenly has gone askew because it hasn't calibrated correctly.
Yeah,
mid race, you know,
it does still, and you've got to have the lights on real bright so it can read the room, and like it is like, and it does like. I always feel like I sound silly if I'm like, oh, but I don't want to put the helmet on. Like, oh, but that would take 3 seconds. But there's some block there for some reason where like it is more annoying.
Yeah.
And you have to sit up in a certain way, and you have to sit in the, like, you can't just sit on the couch.
You
like,
got
have to get a chair, and you got to clear space.
There's like 2 games in the whole of VR that I think are like pretty essential, and that's Astrobot and Beat Saber.
Half-Life Alyx is
Half-Life Alyx.
Is there
Sorry,
as well.
yes.
That one's great.
Those
But
3 are the real.
Even when
like,
it's working, it is still like imperfect for sure, and like it gets frustratingly close. So I can see how like the closer it does get, the more it's like, but this breaks it even further because now I'm even less removed from what it should be like, so I'm noticing it more.
My hot
Uncanny
take,
Valley is what I reckon they should call it.
my hot take, and this might make me sound like Blockbuster Video, but I think the fact that it was Westfield Shopping Centre 1997 that I first tried VR, and fundamentally, apart from the graphics getting better,
Right.
I don't know what has significantly improved. Like, nothing has improved leaps and bounds. It's the graphics, and that's it.
You're still shooting a pterodactyl. Ultimately.
I reckon VR is like 3D TVs. Like, it'll stick around for a while.
Oh, remember that?
But like, it's just like,
I had one.
Did you really?
I had one.
Yeah.
There's a point where you almost couldn't buy a new TV without having 3D functionality.
I remember
and even just a little 3D glasses, you're like,
I remember the big one being
honestly, the slider on the side of the 3DS, I'd be like,
I remember the big one being what's that animated movie, Monsters vs. Aliens? I remember when that came out on Blu-ray, that being the big one.
This guy's never heard of Avatar.
Who are the real aliens?
That like DreamWorks animated movie. For whatever reason, that was the big one that all the JBs decided was like the showing off
like
of the 3D
demo.
TVs.
Right,
it was always on, and they'd have the glasses there and be like, check it out. You can watch Monsters vs. Aliens in 3D. It's like, I don't want to watch it in fucking 2D. This looks like a shit movie.
Well, I had an Xbox 360. Remember those? No, but I remember when 3D TVs first came out, the Xbox 360, some games had 3D functionality, and Gears of War 2, I think was one of them.
Maybe.
And I had it, and I had Gears of War 2. I had a 3D TV, and I had the 3D glasses, and I played it once. I went, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just played it in regular.
Yeah, I did it with Crisis, I think, which was like sick looking game, and like all the menus were like that chromatic, you know, when it's like slightly off kilter and it looks a little 3D anyway. And played it once, and then the batteries ran out on the glasses, and I don't think I ever recharged them.
Or they're going to be puffed up in a drawer somewhere. One of those puffed up batteries.
I think I moved house and like left them behind. So good luck to whoever's about
Some
to
kid
explode.
moved in and my face. I really like it, but also follow the same behavioral pattern of not actually using it. Like I think it's cool, but I also don't think it's there yet, even close. And like,
I think the fact that the PSVR 2 still has the cables just totally turned me off it, because I think so. I have an Oculus Quest.
Two.
I
think we've all got twos.
Yeah. And so I'd use that regularly, but I use it for like 20 minutes a day playing Beat Saber.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not actually immersed in it. It's not a real game. It's a fitness app, essentially. So it's like, well, if I'm getting up to like do some exercise, that's already a process. But if I want to play a game and actually be immersed, I do still find the headset is a distraction. I just want to play Horizon Zero Dawn and get immersed naturally.
I'm like adapting to the interface rather than it being like, whoa, I'm in here. Like, it's a different method of control that I'm like fine with using. But then I also do get sick after 40 minutes or whatever.
Right.
What the only thing I think is interesting to me about it, because it's always just, everything with VR is always about like that first experience.
Right.
And then I'm just, but the one thing I did was that Radiohead.
Oh, the Amnesia
Kid thing.
Yeah. What did they call it? Something like
Kid Amnesia.
Kid Amnesia.
Yeah. And the man, I loved that. I thought it was so cool. And then I put because I was just seeing, like, looking at things in cinema mode as well.
Yeah.
That's it. And like I wish they or hope they would do a VR update for that. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I would love to play that in VR.
Some of the best stuff
Play it,
that I've
you
done
know.
with that is like gallery things.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I forget
Um,
what her name is. J something, 2 J's. But yeah, it was like a purpose.
J-Lo?
Jennifer Lopez made this VR gallery art project that you can buy on Steam now. It's not Jennifer Lopez, but whatever her name
Jess
was. The thing that
Johnson?
was
Jess
on-
Johnson. Thank you. It was 2 J's. Yeah, it was at like the Heidi Gallery, and it was purpose built VR.
Taylor was a
art.
dude. I think it's that Jess Johnson.
It was big booties the whole thing. I
It's
was
Geely.
sick.
You can rent Geely and then
That's
watch it in
it,
the
yeah.
cinema mode in VR.
But that was the only interesting thing to me was like the cinema mode. I didn't hate like and I just literally went, oh, what would because I had the headphones on and everything, and I was like, oh, what would it be like to just fire up Lord of the Rings?
Now I'm in here.
Yeah.
It's such a headache to take this thing off.
Yeah, I'm in this pod, and
This
then I
was
fired
the
up Lord
one
of the Rings,
guy-
and I'm like, oh, here we go. Like I'm watching it. It's like at IMAX.
The
But
one
then-
guy on the plane watching Lord of the Rings in VR while the rest of us are watching the Matilda. That's a month-old joke now, actually.
VR headset on the plane.
Well, that's the Apple thing.
Yeah,
That's their bit,
Apple's,
right?
Yeah.
they're going to come out with that. But again, it's putting on a headset. Like,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, it's like, it's always to me, the first time I did the plank, I genuinely thought, oh, who cares? You know the plank game?
Oh, I thought you meant
planking. I thought you meant the trend.
I thought we were
You're
hearing
like,
it.
this is the greatest thing ever. I love
Everyone's
planking.
planking.
I
so
remember
close to the ground.
But then at some point
I
you're
was
like,
like,
I'm not
fuck.
immersed in this balcony.
I don't feel like a plank. No, the plank
And you just
experience.
said it. You didn't stop as if it was a joke.
Yeah.
You were just earnestly,
The first time I did the
wistfully remembering the
First time I did the plank, I thought, oh, this is what plank lifestyle is. Man, planking is so funny. I can't get over how for a short amount of time, people around the world were just lying down
And then better than that,
and going,
some of-
oh my God!
the best thing was some of them fell off their balconies and died.
Someone died. Someone lived. Because I was thinking about this, right? Because I was watching a World War II movie the other day, and just
Which movie?
it was called Munich, the Eve of War, or something like that.
Ooh.
It was a Netflix one. It wasn't that good. It was about Neville Chamberlain and stuff. Bit
Oh, yeah.
revisionist history, being a bit more sympathetic towards Neville Chamberlain.
Okay.
Right.
But just imagining, because he died after the war had started, but before it had ended. And all those poor soldiers who died on the beaches of Normandy, not knowing a world without war, not knowing what happened. Similarly, there are people out there that don't know a world without planking. They don't know that years later we moved on.
Yeah, so
they
are
died
people-
in the middle of
They
it.
died the second day of
They
it.
died during planking.
There are people who died imagining that the 2020s would be people still saying, it's Wednesday, my dudes. Dying mid-meme.
We're just in Vietnam with my girlfriend and a friend, and we were in the pool. And we had this infinity pool at one of the hotels we were at, and I just planking popped into my head for whatever reason. There's the lip at the edge of the infinity pool, and I was like, "Hey girls, check this out!" And I just planked on it as a joke to my two friends. And my girlfriend goes, "Can you stop that?" I'm like, "Are you worried that I'm going to fall off?" And she goes, "No, all the other people hanging out at the pool think you're serious. They think you're seriously trying to show off to us."
There
by
was a period of
planking."
time where, when I guess smartphones were first in everybody's hands, it was a nightmare. I was in a Hungry Jack's once really late, and everyone in there started doing the Harlem Shake. Someone did a Harlem Shake video, and they all started doing the Harlem Shake and the Hungry. So out there somewhere is a video of me standing completely still, pissed off at a 3 a.m. Hungry Jack's while everyone around me Harlem
That's
Shakes.
like how once I was at a Hungry Jack's really late at night, and a guy from this cult with a missing finger tried to recruit me.
Oh, really? Which finger was missing?
He's what's
Ring?
that?
That's
Ring
the
finger?
fucking two in the pink stinger. That's the Assassin's Creed finger.
Yeah.
Which Hungry Jacks are you both talking about? Because I love the idea that this is maybe
Burke
the same
Street?
one.
The one that's not there anymore opposite Melbourne Central.
Oh, that
okay.
one.
I'm a
Right.
Brisbane boy, man.
Yeah,
You've got that middle Hungry Jacks that everyone knows
Brisbane
about.
Hungry Jacks, yeah, the Hungry Jacks, Queen Street Mall,
Yeah.
where all the goths used to hang out, me included.
Man,
Hang out
the
outside.
time to talk into a Brisbane person before they bring up the Brisbane Hungry Jacks.
Yeah.
It's like if you can get one rotation of the clock.
Yeah, it's like Hungry Jacks and the Floods. Like, what else do we have?
Yeah.
What else do we fucking?
You ever heard about our fucked up mayor?
I mean, if you knew about Wally Lewis, we'd talk about Wally Lewis,
No,
but
we
you don't.
don't. Yeah, sorry.
You don't know about Wally Lewis.
I've seen the
Powder
Bluey
finger?
episode about the Maroons.
There's no other city in Australia where the people from it have as much pride about their city, I reckon, than Brisbane.
Are you kidding? We live in Melbourne.
I was going to say.
You just hear about it because they're all expats.
You don't hear about the trams rattling down the Paris end of Collins Street.
Yeah,
Melbourne, my beautiful baby. My sweet angel Melbourne.
But my counterpoint to that is I've been at a wedding with you, Greg, where you did a speech and 80% of your speech at this wedding was about the Brisbane Floods.
Yeah, but that was because that's Ben's pet hate.
Yeah, okay.
Some say that love can sweep you away, but you know what really swept people away?
Yeah, the Brisbane floods. Melbourne is the most... I nearly left Melbourne.
Because we were talking about
the lockdowns in Melbourne drove me so crazy because the lockdowns, whatever, they were fine, whatever, you just sit at home. But like everyone's going, you don't know what it's like, Melbourne, my beautiful baby, we'll get through this. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Like the whole world's going through this crisis and everyone in Melbourne's like, Melbourne, my city is crying.
That's such a Sydney attitude, Greg. That's so Sydney of you.
Yeah, I mean, all the get on the beer stuff was like, that was a step too far.
I reckon bring it back, to be honest. I reckon we should start talking about Melbourne hurting again.
Well, Greg, I remember you speaking of the lockdowns and everything. So you went to Queensland mid-lockdown to film something, and you had to isolate for was it 2 weeks or something when you got up there?
I was in hotel quarantine.
And I said, that must have been really rough. And you were like, no, Elden Ring had just come out. I took my PlayStation with me and I sat in the room and just played Elden Ring.
I took my
didn't
PlayStation.
Have to leave. It was awesome.
Elden Ring had not just come out. I did play Elden Ring, but that was like a little bit later. I was playing Dead by Daylight a lot.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of... And it hadn't just come out, but a lot of people had just gotten it.
It got big during... Yeah.
And I played Dead by Daylight heaps. I played Deathloop, which I didn't really like. But yeah, I just had PlayStation in hotel quarantine and eating Taco Bell, and it was so fucking... It was the best 2 weeks of my life.
Yeah,
really,
see, I did that for all of the lockdowns, and it sent me crazy.
Yeah.
I could look back at it like, I'm permanently changed.
If you had have done the hotel quarantine here, that horny security guard would have come looking for you, and you would have been like, brother, I'm gaming, piss off.
No, we would have rooted mid-gaming.
Yeah.
I've
heard about this Baldur's Gate game coming out. Can we recreate it?
You can fuck a security guard.
It's in early access right now in the middle of the lockdowns.
But you know what game I've been obsessed with lately? Like absolutely obsessed with?
I don't.
I'll tell you.
Oh, thank you.
And it's not even that newer game.
Okay.
Hell Let Loose.
So, I wanted to talk to you about that because Tommy said you've been playing. You gave us a little heads up about what you've been playing. This is, speaking of your Neville Chamberlains, this is World War II, but like you've never seen it before unless you were there.
It's almost like someone had opened the gates of hell and hell had been let loose onto the earth.
God damn.
You know what I mean?
Fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't.
That paints
You know what
a
I
picture.
mean?
No, I can...
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, but God bless our heroes who
Man,
did
I
know.
love this game so much.
Tell us.
It is it's just such a good multiplayer game. At first, there was... Because I don't know if you've played it at all.
I haven't.
No,
I've
I
seen
haven't
little
heard
clips
of
of
it.
it, and it looked cool. And I know it's made in Australia. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it's like the team that made it had basically sold it, and it's Team
Someone
17
else now or something.
Oh, right.
It's like
The Worms guys.
Yeah, Worm guys.
Worm man.
Worm guys.
Yeah.
They should make a new Worms called Worm guys.
Oh, fuck. I'd be all about it.
No, it's a World War II shooter, and there's a big barrier to entry. Right, when I first started playing it, I just kept thinking this sucks.
Right.
Like it genuinely, it's one of those games where you need to, it sucks to say, but it's like you've got to learn. I had to read shit.
Yeah.
Because at first you just if you treat it like a normal shooter, like you run around just try and kill guys, you'll just die. Like you will just die over and over again. You'll get shot. You don't know where you've been shot from. You literally have to talk. If you're not willing to talk to the other teammates.
Now I see where the Hellbit comes from.
Yeah. There's almost not no point to playing it. If you're just a rifleman or whatever and everyone else is talking, they can order you around, but still and I mean I do get made fun of a lot by my partner when I'm sitting there saying, all right guys, I'm going to lay down some MG fire on the point. I've got if you want to push up, there's a bombing run coming in.
To be fair, you shouldn't be doing it in the German accent.
Getting word from the commander, because there's a commander and there's squad leaders and then there's squads.
Right.
And they'll like.
Is everyone kind of role playing a little bit here?
No, not really. Some people really do.
Right.
But like,
are you dressing up?
Yeah, I dress up a little bit. You know? I mean, I had like.
I already have the helmet, so why
I have
not?
a swastika on my forehead.
Yeah.
But
they're the only ones who've sponsored you.
It was the Nazi party.
I'm not endorsing it. It's just a sponsorship.
Yeah.
If I was into this game, it would need to be a strictly partner out of the house affair. If I'm going to be doing the chatting, I couldn't risk being overheard.
It's really hard to deal with the laughs and the ridicule.
Do you feel like you've ever like fucked up a play because you've been too embarrassed to say what everyone else needed to do?
No, I always do what needs to be done.
Deal with the consequences later.
God bless our diggers.
Popping smoke.
Yeah,
I'll be like,
that's that Anzac spirit.
And you'll say like, frag out, just be careful, and like, come on boys, pop your smokes.
You truly are.
No women play this game, by the way.
You truly are like a
single
Vietnam
woman.
vet. You're like, I walk into the kitchen, they spit on me, they're laughing at me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was like.
But it is honestly this. It is so fun when you're playing as a team and you're actually fucking working together,
right? And
it's all coordinated, and there's a bombing run, and then like you're trying to capture the point, and then you lay down like covery fire because you have to like. What's cool about this game is that you like. Individual kills don't matter. You've like, and covery fire actually, like, you know, you get, you know, if bullets are going near you, your screen shakes and it's blurry and stuff. So it's like you can legitimately, it's a genuine tactic to just fire in the basic location of the enemy, and you don't have like a kill. You know, it doesn't pop up on your screen going, "You've gotten a kill."
Right.
You don't know.
Oh damn.
So like, and the enemies, you know, there'll never be like you can mark where an enemy might be, but you can't actually mark an enemy, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, and there's no, and to get your map, you have to bring up your map and then say, coordinates, you know, it's at G7 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like there have been a few of these type of shooters that have tried to do this. Like it's like actually shooting at people.
Right.
But
more of a simulation than like a game.
And it often doesn't feel like that when you're actually playing it. Like you go in and it's still people, you know, doing normal video game shit. So for this to be built in a way where it is actually encouraging people to do all of this real military shit.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Cool.
And you like stay low, boys. We're gonna sneak up. We're gonna flank them from the west, going through this ditch. Do not fire until we get close.
Yeah.
And are you? Do you
Mom,
have like?
no, not dinner yet, Mom. No.
Do you have your boys that you're playing with regularly, or are you getting on with just randos?
You start to meet a lot of boys as you're playing.
Right.
There's a lot of dudes seem to really like it and play it continuously.
Right. How do you get the like? So you got like a commander. You've got like ranks and stuff.
Yeah.
How do you figure that shit out? Does it happen naturally? Do you get assigned ranks or? Well,
it's kind of easy because you basically like there'll be a commander slot and there'll be squad leader slots. You can start your own squad and you are automatically made squad leader.
Right.
Also, if you start an armor squad, also you can't just, and not everyone can just drive a tank. You have to be a tank crew.
Right.
You have to start an armor squad, and if you start an armor squad, like. When you're driving a tank, you don't drive and shoot. Like, you just drive the tank.
Sure.
And someone else has to spot. So it's real hard to see because you're just going through. So you've got a spotter. If you drive off in a tank with only yourself in it, you're just going to die.
Right. Yeah.
And what's cool is you get to say things like Baker Company and Able. But yeah, essentially, if the commander slot is free, anyone can just take it.
Right, okay.
But if you're like the other day, someone was level 21 and everyone voted to kick that player for abuse purely because they were too new at the game.
So is there a part of you, you know, watching like global conflicts escalating and thinking like, you know, if we got in the mix here, I reckon I'd do all right now. I've got the knowledge.
I wouldn't say there's like a part of me thinks that. It's more I know that
it's just
for sure.
It just is the case.
I genuinely know that as a general, I would absolutely dominate any battlefield.
Right. It's like thinking,
you banging your head on the shelf on the first day in the general's den.
Yeah.
It's like saying, do I think I breathe air? It's like,
exactly.
I
do breathe air.
I do.
Yeah. I do command
it's not
army.
conscious, but
I do command men.
Yeah.
And like, I'm a good tactician. The other day, I was playing with Mark Bonanno.
Yep.
Of Auntie Donna fame.
Yeah. Famous soldier.
And we were playing in a 2-man recon squad, right? The recon squads are a sniper and a spotter. I was the squad leader, so I'm the spotter. Okay. I'm coordinating with command. So I'm telling them, I'm going to go find enemy outposts and shut them down while they, get on the point. And we set up, so Mark was in a barn and he was sniping dudes across a field and he had a clear line of sight. I was spotting them.
Yeah.
And then they started trying to flank us coming around the side. So I put down like personnel mines and then they were blowing up. And then I was just like, all right, they're all... And then they started lining up behind a ditch and just firing at the barn. And I said, Mark, just keep the pressure on, keep firing. I'm going to flank up. And I flanked up around them with a Thompson submachine gun, burst out of the bushes and mowed them all down while he had them pinned down. And it was the best experience
I'm
of
rock
my
hard
life.
hearing this.
Yeah.
When stuff like that works, that was
so fucking good.
When PUBG was good back in the day, that was the appeal of that too, where it was like, I feel like I am actually a murderer.
Yeah.
Which was
This is
cool.
what it feels like to chew 5 gum.
This is what it feels like to shoot 5 guns. I'm gonna play this game but pretend I've been drafted and freak out in the middle of the war.
Yes.
It's something that Mark loves to muck around and do stuff like that. And
a bit of you got a sweetie back home.
He says it a lot. He likes to play as a medic. He likes to play as a medic and going like, "What's your girl's name, mate?" As he's reviving someone.
That's good.
We'll get you back
Good.
to her, mate. We'll get
that's
you back.
really good.
And it's really fun. But one game he just played and just went like that a lot, and then they all shot him.
As would happen in real
Yeah.
war.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's very
They shot him
realistic.
a lot.
Yeah. How old is this game?
I reckon it's like 2 years old, maybe
Okay.
3 years old.
Yeah, I never
played
heard
like
about it.
it's got like annoyingly it's got crossplay, but not between PC and consoles. It's just console crossplay. So I play on console, which is the superior way to play video games. I don't know what it's like on PC, but on console there's a very active. And what's cool about it is like there's a very active. There's always games going.
Right.
Yeah, people
Always
still playing it.
and it's
That's
like
cool.
big games. So it's like I don't know how many. It's like 60 a side or something. Like massive games. And when you're in a firefight, you are fucking in it, mate. Like it is the bullets are flying. Everyone's like just prone on the ground, going, "We're taking fire. We're taking shots.
Now you speak in my
Fucking
language.
frag out. Put smokes out, boys. Come on. We gotta push.
I mean, it'd be fun. Like like when that stuff has sort of happened a little bit, but people don't have that attitude in like a Battlefield game or whatever.
Right.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Running forwards with a bunch of other people, that is human instinct.
Yeah. And it's fucking cool when you're literally pinned down by the enemy and then someone runs up, because you got like team chat and then proximity chat and all the rest. Someone runs up in proximity chat just going, "Fucking fire, just move up. And everyone starts moving up. It's so fun.
Proximity chat, it's cool that it would work it because like it's in like Warzone and stuff like that. The only experiences I've really had with that are like being able to find someone because I can hear fucking, Dr. Dre playing from their microphone. Which is also cool.
Yeah.
Or hear them just heavily breathing.
Yeah, heavy breathing is a great one.
All things that would actually happen if they've got the little Yui boom there and they're cranking some
true.
Dr. Dre, they've got the chronic going.
Well, Apocalypse Now, they're playing Ride of the Valkyries, like it's... We need a real war, though. Really sort the men out from the boys.
Yeah, sort the gamers out from the... sort the Hell Let Loose players out from the PSVR 2 Gran Turismo players.
Those are the two things I want to say that you can take away from this podcast.
Okay.
Is that I would be a great general, and I think I could race professionally in the F1.
It's happened. We'll probably watch that
Gran
movie soon.
I'm definitely going to see the Gran Turismo movie.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it annoys me how like the trailer is. Have you seen the trailer? It's just like, here is every plot point of the movie.
Yeah.
Hopefully that all happens in the first 10 minutes, because fucking hell, they really tell you everything.
I know,
Yeah.
and like half of that trailer as well is David Harbour being like, "This fucking loser plays video games. What a fucking nerd! He can't drive."
I would love it so much if the plot of the movie was just this guy's like, we could get the best Gran Turismo players in the world and put them behind the wheel of a car. And then within a day, 2 of them are dead.
Yeah.
And the other's like, we can't drive at all.
Yeah, it's
he
a game.
Left the race and he drove to EB.
Absolutely not the same.
Yeah.
It's a realistic
Totally.
game, but it's not.
I love that when you've had like
He tried
the
to move his head through the window of the car like you can do in VR, and it didn't work for him.
I like that
He
when
got
you've had like the
decapitated
Sonic
like
and
Hereditary.
when you've had the Sonic and Mario movies make so much money at the box office, and then the Gran Turismo movie, the approach is like, let's go back to like the Wizard. You know, let's imagine if the Sonic movie was like this guy who's really good at Sonic, and then they turn him into Sonic.
Then in real life, he needs to run so fast.
That would be a great...
They tattoo him blue and they teach him how to run really fast.
What
It's
would
like,
be-
no, this isn't the movie we want.
Okay, this is a movie I want to make, right? I want to make a really earnest, sort of heart-wrenching drama
Yeah.
about someone who's like really good at Sonic.
Okay.
They go, we could turn him into Sonic. And then...
You could go pro. Oh, you
Yeah,
mean
you
like
could go
play
pro.
Sonic competitively?
And he's like,
no.
really?
You professionally become Sonic.
Yeah, and like his parents are like, this is a crazy idea. And he's like, you don't understand.
No son of mine's going to be a little hedgehog.
This is the
We're a Tails family.
And then he just goes into this place where a guy essentially does like this fucking dodgy plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Some
on
real
him.
Mengele shit.
And then it's just, and it's like 10 minutes in, and then the rest of the movie is just
It's
like
an Elephant Man, but he's Sonic.
Well, I was going to say it's more like The Whale. Like it's just like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
heart-wrenching story about him just,
The hedgehog.
like he doesn't have much time left. He's just...
Right, like the surgery's shortened his lifespan.
Significantly, he can't leave the house.
A human
and
being
people
can't
are
be
trying to help him.
curled into a ball like that. For
Yeah,
this
exactly. They had
long.
to fuck up his bones so that he can do that little spin dash.
We're giving you the Manson.
Yeah. And then he finally turns on his webcam at the end, and people are like laughing at him, and he doesn't care because he just wants to be honest about who he is.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Guys.
This is. I can see Darren Aronofsky taking this on.
Yeah.
All right. So Greg's a general and a race car driver, and
Yeah.
we're making the hedgehog.
And we're making the hedgehog
Yeah.
screen.
The
It'll just you're not going to write the script. It'll just be in the credits.
Yeah.
Story by Greg Larsen.
Yeah.
You know when someone,
I mean-
when someone gets a bit of that, or it's just
Right.
like,
Yeah.
what did they just like tell someone at a party, and then when you right, I
That
don't
would be
care.
sick. This guy who does heaps of stuff.
Yeah. What if there
story
was like,
by Forrest Gump?
what if a guy had been everywhere in 3 decades? You figure out the
everything.
You do the
rest,
hard
though.
work.
Yeah.
Greg, before we get out of here, we should ask you, what's been your favourite thing so far of 2023?
My favourite thing.
Favourite game?
Favorite game. I was going to say, just having a cool time.
yeah.
Favorite game of 2023. If it's a game that's come out in 2023, then it has to be Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, what else is there? My biggest disappointment. I can go through disappointments.
Yeah.
Sure.
Diablo 4.
Oh, really?
Bored.
Yeah.
Just bored with it. Like I thought, maybe there's something interesting about it. Nah, it's just like boring.
That makes
Final
sense.
Fantasy 16 is boring.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We all bounced off that really quick.
Yeah.
Really boring.
Yeah.
I got
Great.
further in, but yeah, it's got problems.
Yeah. What else? Oh, no. Resident Evil 4 remake. Fucking love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Really
Oh
good.
my god.
Man, the other day I went and looked up, because this is like sort of a spoiler for one line at the end of Resident Evil 4 remake. But it was several months ago, and it's just a line. But again, do the minute skip ahead if you can, because I'm waffling again for too long. But at the end, before he stabs the priest guy, he goes, "I'll give you a holy body." I looked up that line the other day because I was like, that was pretty funny. I'm going to watch that clip again. It's a silly pun. And so many people not understanding that holy and full of holes.
Yeah.
Holy.
Oh
and it made me really upset.
Because that was the thing that you messaged me, I think.
I was
it
like, something at the end made me properly laugh.
And I just sent you the line and you were like, yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's the dumbest. It's a good action movie line that
Yeah.
I've never seen someone kill a priest and say, "I'll give you a holy body."
It was sick.
And all these people being like, "Leon's too cheesy now. It doesn't even make sense." And it really upset me.
Yeah.
That upsets me because he's too cheesy now. Like what?
He was so cheesy the whole
first
time.
one,
Yeah.
what upsets me is like remember that line in the first one in the original Resident Evil 4 where he's like, he's my right hand. Your right hand comes off.
Yeah.
And he goes, no!
Why are you always making fun of me, Leon? I know, it was toned down, if anything, because that guy the whole time he was calling you and being like, this normal thing is like, you're a dickhead. Fuck you, Leon. Why does he keep calling back if he hates talking to me so much?
Yeah, I love Resident Evil 4. I don't know if there's what other games came out this year. What other big ticket games?
Tears of the Kingdom was
earlier in the year.
I don't know if you're a Street Fighter guy.
No,
Street Fighter's pretty cool.
Street Fighter guy.
Diablo and Final Fantasy were big runs recently. You'll love Baldur's Gate, I reckon.
I think for me, Resident Evil 4 I liked more than Tears of the Kingdom. I fucking absolutely and had not played the original.
Yeah. If you hadn't played the original, I reckon it's got to be like one of the best experiences.
Yeah.
That's one of the best games ever made. That
such a polished
well.
thing as well. Like it's from start to finish.
Yeah,
like
so fucking
no
good.
fat on it.
And like having played the original, I played the original many times. One of my favorite games of all time. And this was so good. It wasn't like in any way. It didn't even feel like it was. You know, a new version of the game. Like, I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
It was different.
It was really cool. There's a VR mode of that showing up eventually. But do you reckon you'll give it another chance?
Yeah, well, I mean, a VR mode, is it going to be first person? Or is it going to be third
know
person?
if they've actually... They probably will be, right?
Yeah.
It'll be
Right.
like
if it's first
Village,
person,
so-
I'll do it. Like,
Yeah.
I'll put the headset on and I'll try and beat the first guy and then have my arms spin around.
Careful.
You know, but like, honestly, because the things that they need to do in VR and stuff like that is like I don't want to manually reload. I don't want to do any of that shit because it doesn't work. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like I'm grabbing my gun from my holster.
Grabbing the grenade from your back.
It
and
feels
all that
like
kind
I'm
of
just
stuff.
moving in a weird way, and I have to do it 6 times to get the action exactly right.
Right.
Just push a button like any game.
Yeah.
But then it goes back to like at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, it's like, you know, even if I am PC gaming, which I have done I love Total War games, right?
Right.
That's the only games that I have to play on PC. Even then, even when I have a computer that can run it in really good settings, often once I've played it a whole bunch, I'm like, I don't really care. I just want maximum smoothness. And I'll turn the settings down.
Right.
Because I don't really give a shit. I'm not impressed by the graphics anymore. I just want to play the game. Similarly, like, you know, with VR or whatever, like, there's a point where, like, even if it is working, even if it's good, I'll just take it off and just relax.
Push the button.
And push the button on the controller and play the game, you know?
Yeah.
It's the same with the fucking Wii.
The problem is pumping
yeah.
the shotgun feels fucking cool.
And you know
That-
what? Resident Evil
that I
4
think
was
there's-
great on the Wii.
Yeah.
That was a good version of that game. But, like, I wonder if it'll be the thing where, you know, people in 30 years or whatever will be like, we love the easy VR experience. They've made things now where you've got the full range of vision as well. Like, I don't like having the tunnel vision, but you've got your full and it's just a thing that people can do. But it's like older people when phones and whatever came along being like, why don't you just write it down or whatever?
Yeah.
In 30 years, we'll be out of silicon and we'll be fighting over water. So I don't think we'll be worried about VR
I
games.
do believe the apocalypse is coming.
Yeah.
But it like I
Finally,
definitely
someone
think,
who agrees with me.
I definitely think there's technology. Like it's the same as like, you know, when you go into a restaurant and you order from the app, right?
Yeah.
Can I have a plate of dumplings?
You've got to scan the QR code for
See,
it.
you could have just said yes and we were done. That was
Yeah.
that was the easiest possible way to do that.
Yeah.
And now there's extra steps.
Yeah,
That's
it's
literally
true.
all it is. It's just
And I'm the
extra
person
steps.
who's gonna be getting
it's
the
not in
dumplings
any
anyway.
way more convenient. There's nothing quicker than saying, "Can I have a plate of dumplings?"
Yeah.
There's no way technology can make that quicker. It's so easy to do.
Yeah.
And you've added extra steps into it. And any technology that adds extra steps, it's like,
But what if
probably
your
just
whole
do the-
thing is only wanting to interact with technology? Then extra steps of technology, more of what you love.
yeah.
Imagine if you had to put on a headset to order the dumplings.
Yeah.
No QR code.
Bit of fun.
Yeah.
Just get the helmet on, use the little motion tracking thing.
You got to pull
leaf
the
through
dumplings out from
menu.
over your shoulder.
It's like when I went. There's a restaurant I went to recently where you order on a QR code and the food gets delivered by a robot.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And what was crazy is just the distance. Like, and for people listening at home, I'm talking about a distance of like maybe 3 meters, right, from here to that door, maybe a bit further.
Okay.
We're ordering on the phone. A woman's already come round and put like stuff on our table, and instead of me just saying to her what I want, I have to go onto the phone.
Yeah.
But the restaurant's downstairs. Oh, I'm not getting any fucking reception. Hey, sorry, I'm not getting any reception. Oh, that's okay. You can sign up to the Wi-Fi. Oh, okay, cool. And then so I'm going onto the Wi-Fi and entering the passcode.
Yeah.
Finally, I get onto the thing. I order the food. And then I watch her a few meters away load food onto a robot manually, push like maybe 6 buttons on the robot. Then the robot comes over to me very slowly.
Yeah.
It arrives at the table. I'm looking at her. She's looking at me, motioning for me to take my food from the robot.
Yeah, you have to get up. The robot, when I've had it, the robot stops a little bit before the table.
Yeah.
So it's like I'd rather just go up to the counter and get it from
and it's
the guy.
like this isn't simpler. This isn't easier.
I had that in a...
Why can't I just say to the robot, like, Bravo team, Johnny Bravo, get over here, Charlie Kaufman.
I had that recently where, the robot, and like the robot went into the kitchen. There was a guy at the counter. It was the person in the kitchen loading the robot up. Guy doesn't take my order. Guy doesn't even load the robot up. And I'm looking at the guy being like, what's he doing? Like once upon a time, he would have been the guy that like took the money, maybe brought the order over. He's just sitting there behind the counter. They're like, well, we can't have the counter unmanned.
At least he still has a job though.
True,
That's the thing
His
that's
job's
disappearing.
gotten a lot easier, yeah. Well, now we've pivoted off into a whole other podcast.
Technology is evil. We need to go back to the old times.
Yeah.
We need to hunt for it and eat deer carcasses.
Yes.
And skin humans.
And fuck bears.
And fuck bears.
Yeah. Well, let's leave it there. Greg, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
You are going to be in the UK in October.
Yes, I'm going to be in London in October. I'm definitely doing a solo show. The show that I was nominated for Most Outstanding Show. It's called We All Have Bloody Thoughts. I'm definitely doing it in London in October. At the time of recording this podcast, the venue and date is still to be confirmed. But by the time you hear this podcast, it will be definite. It'll be out. It'll be on my social media. Greg Larsen, comedian.
It'll be in the description to this.
Well, maybe we'll just record ourselves doing an update and
do
just
an
drop
update,
it in.
something. It'll be in London in October, probably within the first 2 weeks of October in London. See my show. I'm begging you. Make it worthwhile.
If you just list for me now every date in October and every venue that it could be at, I'll just edit out the ones.
Sure. Okay. I was nearly going to. Nah, I can't even be.
1st of October, Big Ben. 2nd of October.
Big Ben a venue?
Well,
no.
maybe.
Big Ben is actually the bell.
I'll be inside the bell.
I'll be inside the bell.
Go and see that if you're in. We got a lot of UK listeners, and I saw that show and loved it.
Yes.
It was so funny. You'll have a great time. Go check that out. Go to our website, filthycasuals.com.au, for all the stuff we have going on. The Patreon, get a bonus episode every week. And all our YouTube stuff. Check all of that out. Guys, thank you very much for listening. And we'll see you next time. And as we say here at the end of every episode...
video games have only made me be less likely to be good as a general. I would get a lot of people killed from not wanting to talk to any of them.
Definitely, yeah. That's not what you say at the end of every episode.
No, I do every time. It's only made sense
No,
today.
it's not. And it's like a joke. I get it's a joke, but it's not funny.
Well, it's not funny now.
Just make stuff up every episode.
I'm sorry I didn't laugh at you say you wanted to suck the bear's dick or whatever it was.
Stay home if you're in London.